Yeah.
But that's the thing, like I haven't seen you in
Yeah. As an adult, we
as an
haven't
adult.
really connected much.
So what is life? What is life now?
Oh jeez, where do I even start? So to answer your
Yeah.
question
Yeah.
and where I think that's kind of started, like my maturity
Yeah.
season of my life, I think the turning point for me was when I became a mom.
You became a mom.
Yeah.
What year was that?
That was in 2015.
2015.
Yeah, that was like the turning
In
point of my
2015.
life.
2015.
Yeah, like something clicked inside of me and I was like, oh fuck, like I need to grow up.
Yeah.
I can't be like this
That was
anymore.
yeah. How I mean, nah, not at your age, but you were a totally different person
Back then, I
when you
was
had a
a
kid.
totally different person.
You got
Yeah.
married and you were thinking of like, oh, I'm gonna have a kid, and you were having this expectation of life.
No, so the thing was, growing up,
Yeah.
I never really visioned myself as a mom
Hmm.
or a wife, even. That was kind of something that I just felt like I had to do.
Right.
So,
What do you mean you have to do?
because of our culture, because of our religion,
Yeah.
that just seemed right.
That's true. Yeah, you know what? I had a friend, and it's crazy that you say it, because I don't think of it. I don't think of those things like that way. Like, 'cause, I mean, I guess my parents have always been very like supportive and everything. Right? It's not like you have to. I mean, now we talk about like when are you gonna get married, But I remember a friend like it was like a long time ago. Like I like back after college. It's been like some years. Uh, and he got engaged, and then he was like, I was like, oh, dude, you ready? Or this is what you want? And I think his answer was like, well, that's the next step, right? Like
That's what's
that's
next.
what's next. Like,
Right.
I've been dating this girl. We love each other. Like, so to me, like it did for me to remember it. It did
Yeah.
something in
It
my mind of
impacted
like,
you.
we're like I never told him, and I was happy for him, and I'm still am. But it's like, did you really want to, or that was just the next step? Like, So that's kind of what you say. Like that's kind of what was next.
Yeah. So I think that was it for me too. Like, okay, like I'm married now, and I think my partner at the time, my ex-husband, wanted a child more than I did.
Okay.
So for me, it was kind of like a shock when I found out that I was pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
because I was terrified of being a mom
Yeah.
because of I just didn't feel qualified. I felt like mental challenges kind of run in my family. So I was like, shoot, like I'm not even
Ready.
ready. I'm not even there.
Right.
Like, so I was afraid of not being a good mom, not being a good role model, not being mentally able to be there
You were
for.
thinking of all these things before you had the kid? You were
Yeah,
like,
when I found out I was pregnant.
damn, that's crazy.
Like I tested positive and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I cried.
really.
I did. Of
Happy tears.
no.
Like you were
Like fearful
fearful.
tears. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. How did you overcome that? Did it come to a point where you like accepted it and felt
I kind of had to talk myself into it. Like,
Yeah.
everything's going to be fine. God works all things together for my good. And I think another fear of mine was my relationship wasn't the best.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it wasn't the best choice for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't sure if I would be able to raise someone with this person that I was
Right.
with.
Did you feel that? I mean, sorry to ask, but did you feel that when you were pregnant, or like did you feel that
This was before I got
just
pregnant.
before you got pregnant?
Yeah.
You were like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I got pregnant. I was like, shoot, like, damn, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a challenge, and I think my other fears kind of came true. But the one thing that I wasn't expected was that I would become a better person.
You became a better person.
Yeah.
You were not expecting that.
I was not.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very bright statement.
Yeah.
Like I was not expecting to become a better person. And what do you think? Like what happened? Like how do you become a better person?
I think the moment I saw my child,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be.
Nice.
I'm supposed to be your mom. Like
That's
this is what's supposed
Regardless
to
of your
happen.
relationship.
Yeah.
That's good.
So just having my son made me want to fight for life, want to
Yeah.
get better, want to work on my mental health, want to become healthier and happier and wealthier and
Right.
everything. Like he's my inspiration.
What were you doing at the time, like as for work?
I was working for a nonprofit, wasn't making a lot of money, and when I had him, his dad and I came into an agreement that I would kind of stay home and just work my business, my beauty business on the
You were doing
weekends.
that already.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll stay home and I'll spend time with him. But I was already in like going in a downhill where I was very depressed and I didn't even recognize the signs of depression.
Yeah.
It wasn't postpartum. I was the happiest I've ever been when I gave birth. I had baby blues where I felt very guilty because I couldn't hold him inside my body longer because he was born prematurely.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a thing?
Yeah, baby blues
should
is a
know.
thing.
When they come out early and you still want to have them.
Well, baby blues is kind of like you just kind of feel down and you feel sad, and there's also postpartum depression
Right.
which could last many months.
And you didn't go through that?
I didn't have depression, but I had baby blues where I was like, shoot, like I should have kept him inside longer, and I
Right.
felt like guilty because he was born prematurely.
But it's not something that you choose. It's
No,
just
no,
something
no,
that
no.
happens.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah, you just kind of have to work through that. And
Yeah.
after that, I was fine. I was the happiest I've ever been. I loved, the whole newborn period of that we had together, and just
Yeah.
waking up and feeding him was not a problem to me. I would wake up every 2 hours to feed him.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah, I loved it. It just came so naturally to me,
You
which
became
I
like
was
a-
not
like a mom.
expecting.
You were a mom
I was a
immediately.
mom immediately.
That's good.
Yeah.
Some people resent. I mean, I don't have a kid or anything, and I don't speak through anyone specifically. But in just the experience of people, some people resent the fact, when they have a kid,
Because they lose their freedom
they
and
lose
stuff.
their freedoms.
Yeah.
They're waking up a lot, and I don't
Yeah.
think people complain about that, about waking up because they love the kid, but they do lose a lot of freedoms.
Yeah.
And you say you didn't feel that.
I didn't. I was so into it. I was
Yeah.
like, this is what I was born to do.
That's good.
I just like something inside me kind of switched on.
Right.
Yeah, it was wild because I was not expecting that.
Right, and you were saying that, and we'll transition from like you already had a business.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that start? Were you already married or? Was you
Yeah,
started
I
before?
was actually, yeah. So I wanted to do my own makeup and hair on my
Yeah.
wedding day because
Okay.
I'm kind of picky
You wanted to do it for yourself.
for myself.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I kind of went on a little research.
Do a lot of people do that?
I don't even know,
No.
but I'm picky, so I didn't want anybody kind of like touching my face and then looking at pictures and being unhappy.
Right.
So I wanted to do my own makeup, so I
Yeah.
started kind of learning about products and stuff like that, so I could do my own makeup.
Right.
And I ended up doing it, and then after that I realized, hey, like I've been loving doing makeup on my cousins and giving makeovers. Like maybe I should just venture out and start doing it and getting paid.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How did you start it? How did you start?
I reached out to a local artist here in San Diego, and I was like, hey, like I'm interested in becoming a makeup artist professionally. What should I do? Do I need to go to school? Do I need a cosmetology degree? Do I
Yeah.
need a license? And she's like, if you are thinking about working for yourself, you don't need a license unless you plan on working for a beauty salon. And I was like, I don't want to work for a beauty salon. I want to be independent.
Right.
She's like, okay, if you're thinking about working as a contractor, then I would suggest getting certified. It's not necessarily something that you need, but it's something you can have under your belt and just say that you're certified. So I said, okay, I'm going to go and get my certifications, and then I want to come work for you. And
You told her?
Yeah, I told her.
Wow. That's
And
cool.
she said, okay. And I said, all
She
right.
she was known? She was like
She was
popular?
very well known.
Wow.
She's no longer in business. She's amazing. Valerie Casares is her name, and she has 3 beautiful children now. So she's
became
a full
friends
time
with
mom.
her?
Yeah, we're still friends till today.
Wow.
Yeah.
You told her? Well,
I told her,
like,
yeah.
You asked her those questions and like, I want to work for you.
Yeah,
And you worked for her at one point?
I did. I
Wow,
came back
that's
and I'm
cool.
like, I'm certified. I'm ready to work for you. And she said, okay.
That's intense.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, okay, I just have those questions, because those are the kind of things that kind of interest me a lot.
Yeah.
Like, how did you get that? Like, did you know you were supposed to ask her that, or was that in you? that boldness, you know, like because we're talking about like women in business, you know, women and like as a mother and all these things, and like what makes you think like I don't think I've ever, even when I reach out to like a real like a entrepreneur or anything, I'm telling like I'm working for you later, you know.
I don't know,
And you
dude.
did that, so that's very impressive.
I think it was just like my desire
Yeah,
to get my foot in the door.
and you did.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you got your certification, and then you ended up working for her. Mm-hmm. And then what happened after that? Did you?
After that, I just started building connections, and my work kind of started getting noticed, and
Yeah.
people started recommending me, and that's how I started growing.
Do
Yeah.
you still do that? Do you still
Yeah.
do your
I still
makeup?
do.
Do you focus only on weddings?
Mainly
Or
on weddings, but I also have clients. Like I work for a photography studio that
Nice.
hires me sometimes to work for them.
That's
So
cool to like do the makeup on photo shoots and all
yeah.
that. How did you? I mean, you already had the experience and certification,
Mm-hmm.
but what was it like getting your first client? Like, what was that?
I was so
experience?
freaking nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think taking the certification class really got me like that first push of like
Yeah.
doing makeup on somebody else, because it's very different when you do makeup on yourself than when you do it on someone else.
Oh, and you did it for yourself on your wedding, and I mean, just to tiptoe on that, like, did you? How was that on your wedding?
It was good. I still look
You
at
like
pictures
it?
and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
your wedding
Yeah,
picture.
it was a very classic natural look, so
Wow,
I
but
still like
You
it.
did your makeup on yourself.
I
for
did.
Your wedding.
For my wedding.
I gotta look up to see how many people have done that, 'cause I don't think people do that. Right? That's crazy. How long did it take you?
Not long, maybe
No?
like 45 minutes, an hour.
And you were happy.
I was happy. I still
And
am.
you're still happy with what
Yeah,
you
I
did?
look at pictures and I'm like, yeah, I'm so glad I did it
That's
myself.
good.
Yeah.
No, because the worst, and you said it yourself, like the worst thing is when somebody else does the thing, so you get to blame somebody.
That's what I
"Oh,
didn't
They
want.
ruined my wedding. you know?
Right. That's what I
Yeah.
didn't want. I don't want to be like resentful towards anyone.
Yeah. And what has been your best experience in your business and like the worst one?
Dude, the best experience has been being featured in magazines. Yeah, like I was featured in two different magazines. One of them was a fashion one, the other one was like a wedding one.
Yeah.
And then working for Moby, the brand, it's like a baby brand
Yeah.
that back in the day I couldn't afford because I was too poor to buy
Wow.
Moby stuff for my child. So I got
Right.
to work for them
You mean back in the day when you had your child?
when I had my
So
child.
you mean there was
I was
a
very
little,
poor.
there was a little bit of time before you
Yeah, it
couldn't
was like a
afford it,
period of like 3-4 years
where you couldn't afford it to like you were actually being
working for
featured.
them. Yeah.
Wow. How do you feel?
It was so surreal.
Yeah.
Like to this day, I'm like, damn, I did that.
You did that for this brand that I was trying to buy.
Right.
It's like me like doing a video for like Canon or something. You know, like the
Yeah,
cameras,
exactly.
It's like that's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. And I do have a lot of friends and people who are getting into like the makeup business
Mm-hmm.
and people who do that. So what, like in your experience, what was that like? What like?
It's very competitive.
Okay,
The beauty
yeah.
business is very competitive because you're
Yeah.
competing against like self-taught gurus and
Right.
trends and TikTok and Instagram and
Everyone thinks they're an expert.
right. So I think you
Right.
just have to, if you really do love the art, you have to remain truthful to yourself
Okay.
and not copy anybody else. Maybe learn a little bit about what's trending because you will get asked to do a cut crease or, or like a freaking glitter eyeshadow and stuff. So you have to be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be ready for inquiries like that. But just be yourself and as an artist, just have your signature looks and don't try to look at what everyone else is doing. Don't compare yourself.
Did you ever have those clients where they asking you for something that you know is not like okay, that's not gonna work out?
All the time.
And what do you step on and do you do your thing or do you have to do?
I just kind of tell them like, what do you like about this picture? What is it that's like getting your attention? And they're like, oh, I like the cat eye or the lashes like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, do you really want the green here? And they're like, oh no, that's not really what I want. So just asking key questions.
Just questions, but you never take over and do your thing.
Well, if they let me, if they're like, oh, just do whatever you want, then I'll take over.
That's cool. And I think I mean you started that before your kid.
Yeah.
So then you had a kid. How did that change?
It's challenging because I have to work on weekends and I don't get to spend a lot of time with him
Okay.
on weekends sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
But did it, I mean, you're still doing it, so you're still fully doing it, focusing on your kid, focusing on, yeah, a full-time
My
job.
full-time job.
And you're working on different projects. Like, what is that, what is
Yeah.
that dynamic?
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.